Welcome to Comics Now! On today's One Sequence, we're looking at Marvel's Moon Knight number 195, and how aesthetics and layout inform our perception of reality. We'll actually be considering two different scenes today to better understand how the first affects the way we interpret the second. Look at this page at the very beginning. The characters are all caricatures, with the exception of the woman in the pink jacket, though even she is somewhat abstract in design. Look at the way they're splayed out before us, the symmetry of the four side-by-side panels, and Maurice, the big-eared fellow in lavender and khaki, splitting the middle. The composition says, "Behold!" rather than strongly emphasizing a sequence. Add in the aesthetic, and the message becomes, "Behold these silly idiots!" We're meant to laugh at how ridiculous these people look, even as we laugh at how ridiculous their dialogue makes them seem. Flip a few pages forward, and we have this two-page sequence inside Mark Spector's head. He's sitting on a rock with his other selves, fishing for who knows what. It's a bizarre scene, much more exotic than the classroom setting on page 1. But notice the shift in character designs. There aren't any caricatures here, and the level of detail is greater. It looks much more realistic. Yes, even the skullerific Khonshu. Notice also the layout. Page 1 said, "Behold these silly idiots," but this sequence says something more like, "Look at the strange goings-on in Mark Spector's head." It is clearly meant to be taken much more seriously, and whereas the first page pushes us to draw conclusions about its silly characters, this sequence leaves us with questions. Where is this, really? What are they fishing for? How exactly does Mark's condition work? The first page is an easily digested entertainment, but this is a thought-provoking narrative. When we consider the story being told in this issue, these comparisons are even more striking. The goofs at the beginning want to achieve some sort of meld with one another, where they defy their skin shackles and unite their minds in a single body. That sounds an awful lot like the dissociative identity disorder that Mark and Jake and Stephen and Khonshu already live with. And so the first page is the absurd fantasy of the collective, as they call themselves, while the second sequence is a bizarre but real slice of life inside our hero's head. Sure, we could piece all those things together from the dialogue and the context, but really it's Paul Davidson's layouts and lines that make the contrast really work. We feel it before we have to investigate and determine that that's what's going on. And for me, that makes for a much more powerful story, and that is the power of comics. I hope you've enjoyed today's One Sequence and our look at Moon Knight number 195. The book came out last week, and if you're lucky, you can still find a copy at your local shop. If you'd like to stay current with Comics Now, please like this video so YouTube will show you more like it, hopefully ours. You can also subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and for everything going on Comics Now, including news that we're posting, articles that we're writing, and episodes of our podcast, you can visit us on the web at comics-now.com. Until next time.